welcome you to our lesson today, which is on further simultaneous equations 2a. Now, if you are just joining us now, I want you to know that we have already started by looking at how to solve the various methods we use to solve simultaneous equations. And we have looked at the substitution method, we have looked at the elimination method, we also looked at the matrix method, and we also looked at the Gaussian elimination method. If you want to find out what we did in those lessons, then I will refer you to the past videos. That is, after you have watched this particular video, you can go over there and watch them so that you can catch up with what we are dealing with. Now, on the board we have the second example under further simultaneous equations, and let us get right into solving this problem. If you take a look at what we have here, we have 2 power m plus n equals to 32 as equation 1, and 3 power 3n minus m equals to 27 as equation 2. So we are required to solve these equations simultaneously. Now let's start. Permit me to draw up a line. Okay, now let's start up with this equation to the left of the line. You would observe here that we are actually having a base and a power, and the base 2 carries the power n plus n. Now to the right of that equation we have 32. There is no power except an invisible one. Now 32 is not in its simplest form, so what we are going to do now is to ask ourselves, how can we write 2, that is this 2 that is here, in how many places will it multiply itself to give us 32? So let's do that here. If we say 2 times 2, the result is 4, then times 2, that gives us 8, times 2, that gives us 16, then times 2, that gives us 32. So how many times did we multiply 2 to arrive at the answer 32? So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means 2 will multiply itself into 5 places to give us 32. So therefore we can rewrite what we have here. We can rewrite it as 2 power m plus n equals to, now in place of the 32 we write 2 into power what? 2 power what? Power 5. I believe you understood what we did there, right? So now you can see that the base is now the same, so we can equate the base, or we strike it out and then equate the powers. So here we have our first equation, which is m plus n equals to 5. We have the third equation, okay, so which is a linear equation. So m plus n is equals to what? To 5. All right, so let's move over to the right side of the line and do the same thing. Over here we have a 3 power n, 3n minus m, to be equals to what? 27 as equation 2. All right, so what do? We come over to this base 3. Why are we starting with this base 3? Because if you compare this base 3 to this base 27, you see that 3 is the smallest number. So it's appropriate for us to start from here and ask ourselves the question, how many times will 3 multiply itself to give us 27? So 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27. That means 3 will multiply itself 3 times to give us 27. Therefore, we can rewrite this expression as 3 power 3n minus m to equals 3 power 3. So we have now replaced the 27 by 3, or with what? 3 power what? 3. So this 3 will strike out this 3. All right, so we can equate the powers, but when we are equating the powers, please be mindful. There is something we are going to do next. We say 3n minus m equals to 3, but we are not instantly going to write equation 4 here. Why? Because we are trying to follow alphabetical order. In this first equation, m comes first before n, while here n comes first before n. So what we are going to do is to interchange these two terms. So your minus 1 will come, your minus 1n will come first, then your plus 3n will remain how it is, then our 3 remains where it is, then we have our equation 4. I believe you understood everything that I just said now. Okay, so at this point now we are having the two equations where we are going to start our solving from. So we have to decide on which method to use in solving this simultaneous equation. So for me, I want to recommend we use the elimination method so that we'll just do it very fast. Okay, so we take our first equation here, which is m plus n equals to 5, and that is our equation 3. And then we take the next equation here, which is minus m plus 3n to equals 3, which is our equation 4. So this is what we have. Now we are going to use the elimination method. Now why do I decide to use the elimination method? I made that decision because the coefficient of m, which is the element, the variable I want to eliminate now, has 1 and 1 as the what coefficient. Then the sign here is minus, and while the one here there's an invisible positive sign, so we can write it out. Okay, so and if you can recall to our past, in our past lessons we use the dash concept. Okay, now when the signs are different, what do? We add. So the operation we are taking here to eliminate the m is what? Addition. Okay, so plus m plus minus m will give us 0, so we have eliminated the m. Now if we add up this value here, we have n plus 3n, and that gives us 4n to equals, now 5 plus 3 will give us 8. I believe that step is quite easy for you to understand. So now we divide both sides by what? 4, and if we do this division, we are going to have n to be equals to what? To 2. So that is what we have here, n equals to 2. All right, so what do we do now? We can take this value for n and put it either in equation 3 or 4. So I would recommend, for the purpose of this lesson, I'm going to put my n equals to 2 into equation 3. All right, so we're going to put that into equation 3. Let's quickly wipe this part of the board off. Okay, so what do we do now? We take this up this way. All right, so if we are putting our n equals to 2 into equation 3, that means our equation 3, how do we write it out? We write it as m plus n equals to 5. That is, we are referring to this equation 3 here. Okay, so which means we have m plus the value for n is 2 based on what we got here. All right, and that equals to what? 5. So we send our 2 to this side. Our m will become 5 minus 2, and therefore the value when we got from subtracting 2 from 5 will give us what? 3. So m equals to 3 while n equals to 2. So this is the solution to the problem on the board. Now if you want to check this answer to know whether you are right, simply plug in these two values into what we have here. If you put it here, m is 3, n is 2. If we add both, it gives us what? 2 plus 3, which is 5. 2 power 5 will definitely give us 32. That is just a quick way to check the answer and to be sure that you are correct. So thank you very much for spending your time with me in this lesson. And please, I want to encourage you to stick with me, to follow me throughout all the lessons that are coming up. And in order for you to get notified, please click the bell icon and you'll be notified when the next video is released. And also subscribe if you have not done so. Like this video, also like the previous videos, and also leave a comment in the comment box. I will see you in my next lesson.